Hey yogis, welcome to Monday's practice. Thanks so much for tuning in, and thank yourself for dedicating time today to roll out your mat, turn on the video and come practice. Thank yourself for investing in yourself. In today's practice we will go through a 30-minute Vinyasa flow sequence. We'll work on some upper body strength with planks and side planks, also some standing postures as well as core. After that we will do a Pranayama exercise, which is called nadi shodhana, or also known as alternating nostril breathing, and then we'll finish off with a meditation. All you need for this practice is your mat. If you have blocks available, use those. Otherwise, grab some books that are also a good replacement if you don't have blocks yet. That's all we need for today's class. Thanks again for tuning in and for practicing with us. Let's do it. Let's begin in a seated position today. Come into a hero's pose, sitting on the heels, or a cross-legged seated position, whatever is more comfortable for you. And sit nice and tall, relax your shoulders down away from the ears. Close your eyes. Just take a few breaths here to feel the body, notice what is touching the ground. From there, move through the body upwards. Feel the shoulders relax down. The crown of the head is reaching upwards towards the ceiling. And start to invite all the sensations around you. What can you hear? What can you taste, smell? Just invite all the sensations and use them to pull yourself more into the present moment, to get ready for the practice. Whatever you had going on today or whatever your plans are, that can all wait. Now is time to focus on yourself. Let's just do 3 more deep breaths here. Feel the lungs expand, the belly move forward, the chest lift. Keep your eyes closed. Start to interlace your hands behind your back. Then move your hands over to your left hip. And sit nice and tall. Lower the left ear down towards the left shoulder. Either stay here and continue to breathe into the right side of your neck, or if you want, move the head forward, the chin towards the chest, and then back the left shoulder towards the left ear. A few more. Just see how that feels. Keep that breath going. And to release, bring your left hand down next to you on your left side. Reach that right arm up and over your head towards the left side for a big side bend to the left. Continue to breathe into the right side body and rotate the chest just a bit more towards the right, towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, release. Interlace your hands behind your back. Bring your hands over to the right side, to the right hip. Lower the right ear down towards the right shoulder. Either stay here again or move the head forward and back. Explore and breathe. Release, bring the right hand down to the ground. Reach your left arm up and over your head to your right side. Big side bend to the right. Continue that breath into the left side body. On your inhale, back up to center. Walk the hands forward, find tabletop. Come onto all fours. Come onto your toes as well. Slide the hands back a little bit more towards the knees. Keep your arms straight and then send the hips back towards the heels. Now we stretch out the toes and the feet a little bit. With the arms straight, you move the shoulders as far forward as you can so that you feel a strong sensation in the wrists, and then send the hips back towards the heels. Couple more, just rocking forward and back. If anything else is coming up, any other movements that the body wants to do, maybe in circles or anything else, go ahead and do those. I'm looking for a strong sensation in the wrists, but nothing painful. So if there's any sharp, painful sensation, then just don't go that deep. It's important to warm up the wrist first thing in our practice, and we will do that in almost all of the videos in this series to keep the wrist safe and healthy before we put any weight onto the hands. Let's come back to center. Now the fingertips pointing away from another, bring the wrists closer together. Lean over to the right side, the right palm lifts up. Keep both arms straight, over to the left side. And a couple more, right and left. Again, if anything else is coming up and you want to move in a different way, go ahead. It's just so important to keep the wrists nice and safe and healthy, because a lot of us have a desk job, we sit on our keyboard a lot, and then we come into yoga putting so much weight on our hands, and we want to make sure that we warm them up first. Come back to neutral. Now the last one, the fingertips are pointing towards the knees. Keep the arms straight, stay on the toes, send the hips back. The palms lift up. If you want to go deeper, you can bend one arm, then the other. And what we're looking for here is more of a sensation in the forearms as well as your fingers. Keep your breath going nice and soft through the nose. Then sit on the heels, shake out the wrists, get the blood flow going again. Beautiful job so far. Plant the hands back down, find a downward facing dog, send the hips up and back. Keep your knees bent for now. Just push into your palms, use your fingertips to grip into the ground. You're really pushing the ground away so that you can move the chest towards the thighs. It's really all about opening the shoulders and your back, and not so much about straightening the legs or bringing the heels down to the ground. Just make sure you hide your heels behind the ankles so we get a slight internal rotation in the thighs. And then with that openness and length in your shoulders and in your back, you start to straighten your legs a little bit more until you feel that stretch in the back side of your legs, but at the same time you can maintain that nice and long spine, basically from the hands all the way up to the hips. Maybe walk your dog, pedal one heel down towards the ground and the other, move in a way that feels good. And then slow that movement down. Find more stillness in the body and also in the breath. Nice and slow deep breaths in and out through the nose. Now take a deep breath in through the nose, fill the lungs all the way up. On your exhale, open mouth, let it all go. One more, just like this. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, let it go. One more inhale through the nose. On your exhale, open mouth, fog up that mirror in front of you. One more, just like this. Good job. Open mouth, fog up the mirror. Now take a deep breath in through the nose. Fog up the mirror again on your exhale, but keep the lips sealed. And then try to do the same thing on the inhale again. And on the exhale again. So it sounds like you're fogging up the mirror, but the lips are sealed the entire time. This is what we call our Ujjayi breath. And we want to maintain that breath throughout the entire practice, no matter how challenging or how gentle it is, especially since we're holding this downward dog for a little bit already. Focus more on that breath in and out through the nose. Just keep it going. Do your best. On your inhale, roll through the spine forward for plank pose. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. Use your fingertips to press into the ground as if you want to make a fist with your hands. Press more weight into the inside part of your hands. Push the ground away. Tuck your tailbone, engage the core. So the hips are actually almost on the same height as the shoulders. Now from here, bring the big toes together, bring the feet together, find a side plank on the left, come onto the knife edge of your left foot, reach your right hand towards the feet, and then up towards the ceiling. Continue to press into your left hand, push that ground away, lift your left hip up just a little bit higher up, and then draw the right knee to your right armpit. Hold it there. Find your balance, keep that breath going, most importantly. Then look inside the left hand, nice and slow. Step your right foot there for low lunge. Set the left knee down, reach both arms up and over your head. You decide if you want to stay on your left toes or if you want to untuck the toes. If that's too much for the left knee, you can also put a blanket or something underneath your left knee. Send the hips forward and down. At the same time, pull the right heel back and push the left knee forward. Keep the core engaged and strong, and imagine you're holding something up and over your head so the fingers are nice and active. Let's take one more last deep breath in. Exhale, release the hands down. For pyramid pose, straighten both legs. Step the left foot forward to shorten your stance. Make sure both heels are on the ground. Maybe use blocks if the ground is too far away. Then inhale, lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, fold forward and down. Repeat that pattern. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Or just stay here in this forward fold and walk the hands to the right, to the left. Just see how that feels. Be mindful here of your right knee. It's easy to hyperextend for a lot of us, so keep a micro bend in that right knee and gently pull that right hip back just a bit more. Let's frame the right foot again with the hands. Rebend the right knee, pivot the feet to the left, straighten your leg, standing straddle forward fold, maybe widen your stance. When you look to the feet, make sure the heels are wider apart than the toes. Then take a deep breath in, lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, fold forward and down. Keep that breath going, nice and slow. On your inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, spider lunge to the left. Bend your left leg, straighten the right. We're taking a high variation of spider lunge, so we want to keep that left heel on the ground. The hips are lifted high, and we want to take most of that weight into the left thigh, into that left leg. Bring the hands to the heart. Now move to the front of the mat towards the right foot for a crescent lunge. Reach both arms up and over your head. If you look inside the right knee, make sure you can see that right big toe there. Maybe also the toe next to it. That helps to keep the right thigh track the same direction as the right foot. It's just more safe for the right knee. Also starts to engage the right glute a bit more. If this is uncomfortable for the lower back, then try to bend your left leg more. And if you want to make this stronger, also bend your left leg more and bring that left knee almost down to the ground, so it's almost touching. Keep that breath going. Whatever you imaginarily put a hold up and over your head, press that up even more. Now reach your left arm forward and the right arm behind you for an open crescent twist. Nice and slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. On your next inhale, reach your left arm up, the right arm forward, spider lunge to the left. Bend your left knee, straighten the right. Again, that high variation. Move to the front of the mat for a side plank on the left. Place the left hand down. Try to keep that right arm lifted as you stack the right foot on top of the left. Reach your right fingertips up to the sky. Press into your left hand. Push the ground away. Use your left fingertips to take control over the left wrist. Last deep breath in. Exhale, right forearm down to the ground. Reach your left arm up. Forearm side plank on the right side. Try to bring that right forearm parallel to the right edge of your mat so we get a nice external rotation in the right shoulder, instead of having the right forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Last deep breath in. Exhale, left forearm down as well. So both forearms are on the ground. Tuck your tailbone, engage the core. Press into the forearms, into your elbows. Keep that breath going. Nice and slow through the nose. We're not here for too long. So make it good. Do your best. Last deep breath in. Exhale, release the hips down for Sphinx pose. Move the chest forward, pull the shoulders back, untuck your toes, engage your glutes. If this is uncomfortable for the lower back, bring your feet, your legs wider apart. Keep looking forward or down to the ground. And keep that breath nice and controlled. If you don't feel much here and you want to go deeper, you can press into your palms, straighten your arms for seal pose. Just for 2 more breaths wherever you are. Keep the glutes engaged, strong. Last deep breath in wherever you are. Exhale, release everything down to the ground. Shake out the hips left and right. And then send the hips back towards the heels for Balasana, child's pose. Let's all come back to downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back. On your inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees. On your exhale, step or float the feet between the hands. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, forward fold and down. Bend your knees, roll up through the spine to standing. Take a deep breath in, the arms reach up. Exhale, chair pose, send the hips back, bend your knees. Stay here for the inhale. Exhale, forward fold, straighten your legs. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands down. Plank pose, step the feet back. Inhale, shift forward, come high onto your toes. Exhale, bend your arms for chaturanga. Straighten them again, plank. Downward facing dog, beautiful job. Shift forward, inhale, roll through the spine, plank pose, shoulders over the wrists. Bring the feet together, the big toes together, side plank on the right. Left arm is reaching towards the feet and up towards the sky. Press into the right hand, push the ground away. Keep that breath going, nice and slow. Externally rotate the right arm a little bit more. That means the right biceps is rotating more forward towards the front of the mat. Now reach the left knee towards the left armpit. Hold it there. Look inside the right hand. Slowly step the left foot there, low lunge. Set the right knee down. Reach both arms up. Send the hips forward and down. Pull the left heel back. Push the right knee forward. Tuck your tailbone, engage the core. Reach out through the arms. Last deep breath in. Exhale, release the hands down. Pyramid pose, straighten both legs. Step the right foot forward to shorten your stance. On your inhale, lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Repeat that 1 or 2 more times, or just stay here in this fold. Be mindful of your left knee. Keep a micro bend there. At the same time, gently pull that left hip back. Now frame the left foot again. Rebend the left knee. Pivot both feet to the right side. Straighten both legs. Widen your stance. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold and down. Standing straddle, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, spider lunge to the right. High variation, bend your right knee, straighten the left. Let's move to the front of the mat towards the left foot. Crescent lunge, reach both arms up and over your head. The right heel is lifted. Start with checking out your foundation first. In this case, this is the left foot. So make sure you can see that left big toe inside the left knee. Maybe also the toe next to the big toe. Move the right heel more forward and check in with your lower back. If it doesn't feel good here, bend your right knee more. If you want to make it stronger, do the same and bring that right knee almost down to the ground. Keep that breath going nice and slow. Reach out through the fingertips, keep them active. Reach your right arm forward, the left arm behind you for open crescent twist. Now we're using the core for the rotation. That means with every inhale, you lengthen out through the spine. On your exhale, you pull that left shoulder back behind you a little bit more. Inhale, reach the right arm up, the left arm forward. Exhale, spider lunge to the right again. That high variation, hands to the heart. Move to the front of the mat towards the left foot. Place the right hand down for side plank on the right. Press into your right palm. Slow your breath down. Lift the right hip up. One last deep breath in. Exhale, left forearm down to the ground, forearm side plank on the left. Continue to press into your left elbow. Lift your left hip up. reach out through the right arm towards the ceiling. One more deep breath in. Exhale, right forearm down as well. Both forearms on the mat, forearm plank. Press into your elbows. Tuck the tailbone, engage the core. Slow the breath down. Last deep breath in. Exhale, release the hips down, Sphinx pose, untuck the toes, move the chest forward, pull the shoulders back. Look straight ahead or down towards the ground. Keep the glutes active, that means flex your butt cheeks. If you want to go deeper, seal pose, press into your palms, straighten your arms. Keep the glutes super engaged. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Last deep breath in. Exhale, release everything down. Now place your hands underneath your shoulders. Keep the toes untucked. Straighten your arms, engage your glutes for upward facing dog. The only thing touching here is the hands and the tops of your feet. Pull the shoulders back, move the heart forward. Keep the glutes engaged. Press into your palms. Look straight ahead. Now to come to downward dog, you use your core to lift the hips up and back, nice and slow on your exhale. Come onto your toes. Let's come back to downward dog. Beautiful job. On your inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees. On your exhale, step or float the feet between the hands. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, roll up through the spine to standing. Deep breath in, reach your arms up. Chair pose as you exhale. Bring the feet together and the big toes together. Send the hips back and reach your arms up even higher. Keep that natural curve in your back. Now start to lift your heels up if you can, so you're only balancing on the toes. Keep pulling the lower belly in. Keep that breath going. Slowly start to bend your knees all the way. We're squatting down. Set the hips down for boat pose. The shins are parallel to the ground. You can either point the feet or flex the feet. You decide. If this gets uncomfortable for your lower back or anywhere else, set the heels down and continue from there. Bring the fingertips together. Keep the arms straight. And then rotate over to the right. Bring the hands close to the ground. Over to the left side. Over to the right. Now the hands on the same height as your knees. Over to the left. Over to the right, same height as your head. Over to the left. Let's reverse it. Top right, nice and slow. Middle left. Middle right. Bottom left. Bottom right. Beautiful job. Back to boat pose. Reach the arms forward. Either stay here or lower down for half boat. The heels are hovering above the ground as well as the shoulder blades. Keep reaching with your hands more forward towards the feet. Engage your glutes, press your lower back into the ground, and then come back up to boat. Beautiful job. Now set the heels down. We're coming up to us for a squat. Maybe use your hands or don't use the hands. For forward fold again. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands down. Chaturanga, step the feet back, shift forward, bend your arms. Upward dog on your inhale, straighten your arms, engage the glutes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, open, stack the hips. Point the right toes so that you can reach from the right pinky finger all the way to the right foot. Inhale, come high onto your left toes. Exhale, right knee to the right armpit. Hold it there for a moment, then cross the shin over the mat. Pigeon pose. Lower the hips down, slide the left foot back. Keep your right leg nice and bent, especially if you have sensitive knees. Keep the right foot flexed as well, so the right toes are pointing towards the right knee. If you want, you can put a block underneath your right hip Come onto the fingertips, sit nice and tall, engage your left glute. And then there's a couple of options here. Either you can stay here, or any other variation that feels good for you that you know of, or you walk the hands forward just a little bit more, or come onto the forearms if you want to. But I really encourage you and want you to keep checking in with the right knee, make sure it's safe. If you feel anything that's uncomfortable in the right knee, then try to bend your right leg more, or flex the right foot more, or you back off a little bit and use that block underneath your hips. Here for a couple of breaths, you can rock the hips left and right, just gently. That's something I like to do, but if you want to just stay here, that's also great, and stay more static and focus more on the breath. And slowly release, place the hands down to the ground, push yourself back up. Sit over onto the right hip. Bring the left leg all the way forward and around so that that foot is outside the right thigh. Then lean to your right side, extend your right leg forward. We're coming into half cow face. We're trying to stack the left knee on top of the right. Keep your right foot flexed, then walk the hands forward. And it doesn't really matter how this looks, it's more about feeling the sensation in your body. And what we're looking for is a sensation in the back side of the right leg, your right hamstring. You might also feel this in your lower back. And that's great. Just use that breath to dive deeper into the pose, not necessarily physically, but internally with that breath, focusing more on it. Plant the hands down on the ground, slowly release, push yourself back up. Bring the sole of the left foot inside the right thigh, just like a tree pose. Your left hand goes behind you, lift your hips up, reach your right arm up and over your head. Engage your glutes to move the hips forward, continue to press into your left hand. Deep breaths into the right side body. Let's take one more deep breath in. Exhale, release the hips back down, cross your ankles, roll over the knees. Find your transition, your vinyasa to downward dog. Could be straight to down dog, or if you want, you take a chaturanga on the way. Inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Bend your left knee, open, stack the hips. Inhale, come high onto your right toes. Exhale, left knee to the left armpit. Hold it there. Pigeon pose, other side. Cross the shin over the mat. Adjust the right leg. Move it back. Lower the hips down. Come onto your fingertips. Keep that left knee safe by bending the left leg, flexing the left foot. Sit nice and tall. Engage your right glute. And stay here, or any other version that you want to take, any other modification, or walk the hands forward for sleeping pigeon. No need to come onto the forearms or to lay the chest down to the ground. We're really all just moving with what we have today. And especially if you're starting out, then this might not be accessible for you, and that's perfectly fine. All we're looking for is a sensation in the body, and then adding the breath to that sensation to help us dive deeper into the present moment and what currently is going on. If you want to move the hips left and right, go ahead. And release, place the hands down, push yourself back up, take your time to get there. Sit over onto the left hip, bring the right leg forward and around The foot is outside the left thigh. Lean to your left, extend your left leg forward. Keep the left foot flexed. Stack the right knee on top of the left. Half cow face. When you're ready, walk the hands forward. Keep the spine nice and long. And then start to round your back. So we not just only stretch and lengthen the lower back, the lower body, but also the upper body, and we actually target the entire fascia line that's running from the heel on your left side and the right side, of course, also all the way up your leg, up your back, and all the way up to your head. We're here for a couple of breaths. And release, place the hands down, push yourself back up. Let's do that counter stretch. Bring that foot, the right foot inside the left thigh, right hand behind you, lift your hips up. And release the hips back down. Extend the legs forward, shake them out if you want to. Then bend your knees, bring the feet down to the ground, the soles of the feet wider apart than the hips, just a little bit. Hands go behind you, fingertips are pointing towards you, press into your heels, press into your hands, lift your hips up, reverse tabletop. Engage your glutes, lift your hips up as high as you can, and do whatever feels good for your head. If you want to keep it upright like I do here, or let it hang backwards, both options are great, whatever feels best for your body. Then start to move the hips forward and back, just rocking forward and back. So we hopefully feel it somewhere in the front side of the shoulders, that anterior deltoid. And then set the hips all the way down. Reach your arms forward, come onto your back for happy baby, nice and slow. Grab the outer edges of your feet or the heels from the inside, you decide. Keep the lower back and the shoulder blades on the ground as you move the knees closer to your armpits. Close your eyes, keep the head on the floor. And just notice what's coming up. If you want to just stay here or maybe rock left and right. Maybe you want to straighten one leg and then the other. Just play around with this. See what feels good. And let's hug the knees into the chest. Exhale all the air out. Then take a deep breath in through the nose. And hold your breath at the top. Unless you're pregnant, in that case, just breathe normally. We're holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open mouth, exhale. Savasana. Extend the heels forward, the legs forward. Bring the legs wide apart, the arms out to the sides, the palms are facing upwards. Take all the space you need and want. If you want to put a blanket over you or put a sweatshirt on, go ahead. It's important to stay nice and cozy, comfortable. And first, give yourself permission to relax, to lay here in Savasana, to be on your back. Then imagine the body is melting into the ground. Let go of any tension you're still holding on to, which is sometimes hiding in the fingertips or in the toes. So let that go. It's very likely that you don't need this right now. Then allow yourself, or allow your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. That's the rhythm that your breath has when you're not changing, you're not controlling anything. Instead, become the observer of your own breath. Feel the breath coming in through the nose, the belly lifts, the chest lifts, and how the air is leaving your body again. Start to take a few deep breaths. Let your next breath be deeper than the last. Start to move whatever feels right. Start with small movements in the fingers, the toes, whatever it takes to wake your body back up. Eventually reach both arms up and over your head. Welcome yourself back to this body, to this dimension. Bend your legs, roll over to one side, use your upper arm as a pillow. Keep your eyes closed. And take your time to push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe grab a block or a bolster on the way there. Relax your shoulders down away from the ears. And before we finish up our practice with a nice meditation, we want to share with you a breathing exercise, Pranayama we call this, and this one in particular is called nadi shodhana, or alternating nostril breathing. And we will use our right hand for this exercise. You use the right thumb and the right ring finger for this. The middle finger and the index finger can stay either bent, or you can put them between your eyebrows onto your third eye. But we start with an exhale all the air out. Then you use the right thumb to close the right nostril and start to inhale through the left nostril. Then you close the left nostril with the ring finger, open the right side, exhale out through the right nostril. Then again inhale through the right side. Now close the right side, open the left, exhale through the left. And that's one round. Let's continue with breathing in through the left side. Close the left side, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right side. Close the right nostril, open the left, exhale through the left. So that's round 2. Let's keep going on your own with an inhale through the left. And then we're switching nostrils. So you basically do one full inhale and exhale through each nostril, and then you switch again. So every time after that full inhale, you switch the nostrils, and then you start to exhale through the other side. And one round for us begins with an inhale through the left, then you go over to the right side, and then you finish one round and you end this practice with exhaling through the left. Just keep going. Let's do a couple more rounds all together. And what we do here is opening up the right side and the left side of the body, especially through the nostrils, so we can breathe better and more freely for our practice or for our meditation practice. This exercise also really helps to just calm down, and if you have a lot going on and you're busy, maybe a little bit stressed, this one can help to calm down and wind down a little bit and become more centered, find that peace and stillness within a little bit more. Just with this simple exercise, couple breaths on the right and left, just a few rounds. So let's do 3 more all together. Wherever you are, just keep going. And let's finish up this round with an exhale out through the left nostril. Whenever you get there, then you place the hands down on your knees or on your thighs or in your lap. Keep your eyes closed if they are not already. Close them. Relax your shoulders down away from the ears, sit nice and tall. And continue to focus on the breath. Focus on that sensation of the cool and fresh air coming in through the nose. Your body does something with it to keep you alive without you doing anything. And then feel that warm and used air, how it's leaving your body again. And then repeat. Nice and slow, one breath at a time, in and out through the nose. And in a meditation practice like this, we want to focus on one thing. And since we have the breath always with us, we use the breath. This kind of meditation is called Vipassana meditation. And so as you focus on your breath, you might notice that there's thoughts that are coming up. The mind creates thoughts, it's the purpose of the mind. And those thoughts might be about the future, about the past, about whatever else is going on in your life right now. And know that this is perfectly normal, that's fine. The thoughts will not go away. But what we do with this practice is to realize that when there's a thought coming up, you have a choice. You can choose to either follow the thought and go with it and all that has to do with it, or you decide to accept that the thought came up, but instead of following the thought, you focus back on the breath. You treat yourself with love and kindness, knowing that it's normal that thoughts come up, but you actively choose to not follow it and instead focus on something else so much that the thought is just passing by like a puffy cloud on the blue sky. All of a sudden it disappears again and you're fully focused back on the breath. And then you repeat until the next thought arises. You treat yourself with love and kindness and focus back on the breath. It sounds so simple, but it's a very challenging thing to do, and it takes a lot of practice. That's why we call this yoga practice, or a meditation practice, or a mindfulness practice. It's not about controlling your thoughts. It's about not letting the thoughts control you, because you are in control. You decide how you act upon whatever is coming up. Let's do a couple of more breaths here. Go ahead and draw your hands to the heart, your palms touch. Bow your head down towards your fingertips to thank yourself for showing up. Thank yourself for committing to this program, to this course, for taking the time to invest in yourself, for rolling out your mat, maybe trying something new. You can be so proud of yourself, and we are so proud of you. Thank you so much for trusting us and for letting us guide you through this practice. We will see you in tomorrow's video. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. With love and gratitude, Namaste.